I see we got one person in here. I'll give me a little moment. I'm trying to be on time today. I'm 4 minutes late actually, but we're gonna start up in just a second. Y'all know me. I don't sit around and wait. Y'all just give me 1 second. 1 second. All right, all right. How y'all doing? Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Y'all know who this is. I'm trying to find a pencil, man, so I can take notes on some of you all comments. But y'all know who this is. This is your boy. This is your boy, Rob Thomas Jr., and this is the real news behind the news. Yeah, man. Um, Today is Monday, May 18th, 2026. And y'all give me a second. I want to find a pencil. While y'all coming in, man, leave some comments as you come in. Let me know where you watching this video from. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. Also hit the share, man. Try to build this channel back up. Get a little bit more serious and consistency with these videos. Let's see if this will work. But as you come in, hey, anytime I do a video, the most important part of any video I do, let me get with the formality. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing? Y'all know who this is. This your boy, Rob Thomas Jr., and this is the real news behind the news. Oh yeah, today is Monday, May 18th, 2026. And today we're gonna talk about Trump and how he basically told everybody, he don't give a damn about the Americans. He don't give a crap. Watching from New Jersey. I ain't good with names, so it's Jake and 80. Hey, all the way from New Jersey, man. Hey, shout out to y'all up there on the East Coast, man. I lived up there in Columbus. That's close as I ever got to Jersey or New York. I lived in Columbus, and I lived in Albion, Michigan for a little point. But anyway, glad you can join us, man. If y'all come in, man, again, leave a comment. Let me know where you're coming from. But again, your comments are the most important part of the videos that I do. It's really you all comments that make these videos do good numbers, because I don't want to just be somebody just sitting up here talking. I want you all to interact so I can answer you all's questions to the best of my ability. You know. Also, I'll say this once, maybe 2 or 3 more times before this video ends, but as y'all see down in the bottom, there's a ticker. YouTube has took all the monetization away from this channel. That's why I had got frustrated with it. But if y'all can, hit the Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, throw $1 or $2 on there, that'll help a long way for us. My son and I get some things done. We got a lot coming up. We got to move into another house in 2 weeks before we can even get our house fixed. We still working on our house with the landlord. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Leave a comment. Whatever y'all want to talk about, interrupt me. But let's get off into it. Now, last week, during this pause of this war of choice that the United States has enforced, well, basically that Donald Trump has been coerced into initiating because of the Epstein files. Y'all notice since this war been happening, They ain't been talking about the Epstein file because they're going to use the Epstein files to get whatever they want, meaning that's Israel. Your government, we're living in an occupied country, y'all. Yes, America is an occupied nation. We are under occupation by the Israelis, mostly Israeli Mossad, the Israeli government, the Knesset, which is their government, and the IDF. I said this numerous of times over the last 10 years, and y'all go back and just look at these videos. Jeffrey Epstein was an agent for the Mossad. His job was to catch our politicians, our business leaders, our civil leaders, our entertainers. His job was to catch them in compromising situations with little children, other men and women, but to catch them in sexually explicit situations where he can use to blackmail them. Hey, Yashua, what's going on, man? Good to see. Good to see you here. I'm not gonna hold y'all long, but I'm gonna come bring y'all the real news behind the news. So Jeffrey Epstein's job was to get your leaders in bad situations. Now, how dumb and stupid was Trump when he got up there in his platform when he was running for office this time? He said he was going to make sure he released the Epstein files. Oh, yeah. That was until he realized how deeply implicated he was in those files. Do y'all know they still got almost 300-some thousand pages they have yet to release? And Trump's name in all the pages that they have released, he has been implicated over 31,000 times in those files. So Trump had done so many strange things for change with children and minors, other men. He had done so much. Let me see. Robert Carson Jr. Good evening, Rob. I enjoy your content. Maybe you can do a show on mental health. My heart goes out to those babies that lost their lives in Shreveport. Yeah, all right. Well, let's again. This is why you all's comments are so important. Let's talk about that mental health situation and domestic abuse, because that was a tragic situation. And usually there are warning signs when mental illness is a issue with people. There are warning signs. Me, myself, what I hate about the whole situation the most is that he died on the side of the road. They took his life on the side of the road. No, I wanted to see him go and suffer. They gave some mental health, all right, down there when the Big Butch, you know what I'm saying, got him in that cell alone. That would have helped his mental health issues. But let's be serious a little bit, though. Mental health. You notice mental health is not too much of a subject that's talked about in the Black communities because we don't know the diagnosis. We don't know the symptoms. We don't know. All we know is that little Jeffro got some issues. But you know what? Y'all, hold on a second. Hold on a second. A customer that I got to go and redo some work for that I forgot to do, but hey, that's part of the thing. But anyway, we as Black people, you ever notice mental illness in the neighborhoods is not mentioned that much because we self-medicate. We medicate ourselves with marijuana, ecstasy, or sometimes other illicit drugs. That's how we self-medicate ourselves. But when you look in the white community where they have, good insurance and stuff like that, they're able to go get properly diagnosed. So a lot of times we as Black people slip through the cracks because it's always a stigma. Well, from the time that person is born, this little person kind of slow because he goes to school with your kid, his cousins. Your children are his cousins. They all in the same grade. They go to school. But when he gets to school, he got to sit in that one classroom all day. Everybody else got 6 classes, but he's sitting in that one classroom talking about, teacher, what we gonna do today? Sit down, nigga, shut the fuck up and just draw. That is our link with mental illness. And then two, also in the black community is this phenomenon called the crazy chick, where a lot of these women forego actually trying to understand mental illness. And in most cases, a lot of these kids don't even be mentally ill. But in order to get that extra income, they sign their kids up for the SSI chicks. Now this kid has been placed in a classroom or an environment where they're not trying to nurture and nourish his mental capacity, but they're just trying to keep him docile enough just to make it through the day. So mental illness, we'll have to do a whole nother subject. I mean, a whole nother video on mental illness, but let me write that down in my notes. That's going to be another show we can do this week, mental illness. Because anybody knows that dude that shot all his children. Come on, man, this man took the lives of all his children. Now, this man was in the military. He never got promoted, not once in 5 years that he was there. They knew that this man had red flags all around him, but yet once he was released from the military, hey, it was like goodbye, so long, good riddance. But he still should have been up under some kind of mental health evaluation as a veteran. Now we see the consequences of not being totally diagnosed for mental illness. But again, mental illness is something that we in the black neighborhood really don't focus on. We just like to call a person crazy and dismiss them as crazy, when in reality that person needs help, man. And again, we don't understand the medical intricacies of mental illness in the black neighborhood per se, because again, it's always been a stigma, where if you see little Tyrone, again, he's a little bit slower than the other. He's always made fun of and he's always mocked, as opposed to the mother, instead of trying to get that SSI check for him, literally getting her child some holistic therapy. Because I believe you can't treat a lot of these mental illnesses with medication. That only makes the problem worse, because now you're masking symptoms of an underlying serious problem. So yeah, good comment, Robert Carson Jr. Yeah, mental illness is something that we definitely got to talk about, and I guarantee you, I scheduled a show, a broadcast every day this week for around about the same time, and we definitely will talk about mental illness. But that's a subject that I want to do more and more research on, so that when I come to you all, I can have nothing but facts, not just my opinion. But the fact is that that young man who took the lives of those 8 children here in Shreveport, man, that was horrible. But you can see warning signs coming. There are things that we are hearing, after the fact here in Shreveport about the situation. But I don't like to comment on these things unless I know what I'm saying is coming from a good official source, and what I'm saying is true. I don't like to just put out something that I heard and run with it. I like to speak nothing but truth. That's the only way I can keep the real news behind the news, by keeping the truth at the forefront. But yeah, that was a tragic situation. And then on top of all that, in the situation, you hear a lot of the corruption and shit, where people trying to capitalize off those children's demise. It's just a sad situation overall, because you got to be mentally ill to see that 8 young children lost their lives. The oldest one being 14, the youngest one being 1, and you got people trying to scam. And again, I don't want to say no more than that. But yeah, that's a mentally ill person that would take advantage of a child who's lost their life. You know what I'm saying? For financial gain. Here it is. I'm struggling. I'm begging you all to hit the cash out, but I would never do something that despicable. To try to capitalize. Even if you are part of the family, there's a right and a wrong way to do anything. One most important thing that I would mention to us as black people: get some insurance. That way, if something tragic all of a sudden happens or something naturally happens, you will be prepared to to deal with the passing of one of your loved ones instead of having to go put a jar up there at the corner store and hoping enough people donate just so you can get the autopsy or get your family member involved. See, there's a lot of things we as black folks we overlook these things, you know, on a day-to-day basis, but you don't pay attention to them till they affect you. Now, in a sense, that situation with those 8 kids that affect the whole city, man. To wake up on a Sunday morning and hear that 8 children lost their lives at the hands of their father. That was foul, man. And again, I don't think justice was served. He should have been literally at least allowed to live to spend at least his last few days in general population on at Angola, where he really got what he deserved. Mentally ill or whatever. He wasn't so mentally ill when he was making those children. He wasn't so mentally ill that when he was trying to raise those children. But now we want to throw mental illness into the mix, which you have to, because it was probably most likely his illness or his disease, you know, the disease that had his brain functioning on the level that it was. But it's not an excuse, man. It's not an excuse. Hell, he did all that time over in the military and didn't kill nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's a two-way street. But again, to a lot of you parents, you're setting your children up right now. If you heavily depended on those SSI checks as opposed to nurturing your child's mental capacity. Now, some of these kids are born, yeah, they need some SSI checks. Some of these cats so crazy, they need to just get straight cash because they so mentally fucked in the head, you know, that they can't really deal, you know what I'm saying, deal with. But yeah. Anyway, thank you for that comment, Brother Carson. That took us, you know, to a whole different level. And yeah, we could really talk about that. Really, I could talk about that all night. But my knowledge is not that deep, although I was clinically diagnosed as clinically depressed, manic depressed, a couple of times in my life. Spent with my father. I lost my father at 25 years old. I was depressed because he was here in Louisiana and I was in Nebraska. A couple of years back when my son and his mom, she came and got him and they moved to Ohio, I was depressed. And I self-medicated. Y'all can be real. A lot of alcohol, a lot of marijuana, you know, and I refused. I knew how it was when they tried to put me on that Prozac, that Zoloft and all those antidepressants. That made me feel worse than the actual hold on, let me see if we got any more comment. There was somebody who just called me out, and I'm gonna just sit here and wait till they come, but I just gotta run somewhere for a few minutes to just basically screw something together that I didn't tighten up all the way. Hey, that's part of being a good businessman. If y'all live here in Freeport, Louisiana, or anywhere close, give me a holler if you need anything done, home remodeling or anything like that. I'm trying to get my LLC back up and running like it was before COVID. I'd rather get out here and work my ass off every day, 10, 11 hours a day, than have to come home and get on Facebook or YouTube and ask somebody to bless this channel because the white folks took my monetization away from me. But right now, if y'all can, go ahead and hit that. But anybody else got any questions they want to go? Because we were going to talk about how Donald Trump said he don't give a damn about your financial situation. The only thing he cares about is Iran not getting a nuclear weapon. Why the fuck not? Think about this. There's like, I think, hold on, let me see. How many countries have nuclear weapons? It's not going to let me do it. How many? Oh, I'm running into that. I was going to ask Gemini how many countries. We're just going to say there's probably about 40 major countries that has nuclear weapons and been having nuclear weapons for at least, just say 30, 40, maybe 50 years. What is the only country on this planet that was ever psychotic enough to use a nuclear weapon? I'll give you 2 minutes, 2 seconds. Do, 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 do. If you said the United States, you are right. You win a pack of strawberry and a pack of banana now later. The United States is trying to tell another country that they have no right to a nuclear weapon when the United States is the only country to ever use a nuclear weapon against a civilian population. And at that time, World War II was ending. The Japanese were ready to surrender. And the United States, just to show hubris, just to show that they had it and they would use it. Hold on, something ain't right. Hold on, Robert Carlson, somehow. Hold on, man. But, oh, there we go. Good evening. There you go. Okay, we back. Robert Carson. Robert Carson, if you still there, leave a comment real quick so I can make sure that you still with us. Yeah, because I actually did hit something and it shouldn't have blocked you. But yeah, now I see that you're back. Let me see if what happens but I ain't gonna go over to YouTube. But I got a few more minutes, y'all. Come on. I was planning on going for at least about an hour or so. But let's talk, y'all. Let's talk. Anything y'all got that you all want to say, go ahead. I'm all ears. I'm open for anything else because I get tired of talking about geopolitics, and I'm gonna be real. Only just say for every 10 people that watch what I do, my content, only 2 people really understand that if you're not paying attention, you'll never understand what's going on in your neighborhood here in Shreveport or in New Jersey. You'll never understand what's going on locally in your neighborhood unless you understand what's going on international stage. Y'all realize, we'll give y'all an example. Recently, lately, there has been a lot of big issues about ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement. Do y'all realize how internationally that plays out and how it affects you in your neighborhood? Because ICE agents are being trained by Israeli Defense Force agents. The same tactics that they're using to suppress, oppress, and commit a genocide on the Palestinians, now the Lebanese people, because you gotta realize they're committing a genocide now in Lebanon. Those same people who are trained to commit suppression and oppression tactics against the Lebanese people and the Palestinian people are the people that's training your police departments here in America. They're the same people that's training ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement. Yeah, they practice these techniques overseas and then they bring them here to you. So that later on, when most likely what's going to happen, we're going to see a big upheaval around by November at the midterm election when Donald Trump loses very badly and his people start getting out there and protesting, and the people who are against Trump get out there and start protesting. They're going to start using ICE for situations like that for crowd control, crowd suppression. Really, it's oppression. They're getting ready to take away your First Amendment, freedom of speech. That's really what this is all about with ICE and all these other agencies. We got a new comment here. Let's see. Raz Cash, what's going on? Redistricting. Well, they can draw up all the lines they want, but if people actually get out and fucking vote, it'll make it hard for them to redistrict anything and gerrymander and suppress the black vote. Here in Louisiana, we saw that over this weekend where AIPAC, which is the Jewish lobby, Donald Trump put all this money behind this one white girl. I keep forgetting her name, but she ran against John Fleming and Bill Cassidy. They put tens of millions of dollars behind this woman campaign, and she couldn't win outright because grassroots level wise, they had so many votes against her and against Bill Cassidy that she forced after them spending over 10, say just say 15 some million dollars just for this Senate race here in Louisiana. They spent over 15 some million dollars, and she still couldn't win outright. So it means no matter how they draw these lines up, if you get out and vote in overwhelming numbers, that beats any kind of voter suppression, that beats voter fraud. Because right now, out of all that money that they spent, she still has to go to a runoff right now. So you can rest assured they're fixing to spend big money on her campaign against John Fleming, who again won the popular vote overwhelmingly. He had got so much overwhelming support from the public that all that money that they spent to try to get her to unanimously win that election, she still got to go through a runoff. So redistricting, it does make a difference in places where people rarely vote. But right now, y'all, I'm gonna give y'all the secret formula, especially when it comes to your state and national elections. Look at who's funding these candidates. That's the key. That's the main thing you need. If you see a candidate that's getting money from any Jewish lobby, AIPAC or whatever, excuse me, the Israelis backed lobbies, don't vote for them. It's really that simple, because they're not for you. They're not America first, like Donald Trump lied to all these people talking about he was going to be America first. When it comes down to it, he was really Israel first. Y'all give me a second, just 1 second. Hold me to that thought. But redistricting, again, this is why you all's comments are so important, because now we're able to talk about a plethora, a wide range of topics, as opposed to just what I wanted to talk about. Give me 1 second. Little man, you give him a money. Peter Petty, you owe me, bro. You owe me for that one. I had a feeling you were gonna do that to me. Yeah, I got you. Okay, I apologize for that, y'all. But yeah, redistricting is a big issue right now, because they basically gutted the Civil Rights Act and all that legislation to try to give black people a fair chance. They just didn't give a damn. They just destroyed that. So again, yeah, that's a good topic. Rash Cass. Let me see again. Robert Carson, I need you to make another comment. I want to make sure that you're good, because I tried to do something. I hit a button. Oh man, I gotta go back and do that. Make sure that Robert Carson is good, because he's been a supporter. Okay, you're still good, man. I mean, Robert Carson. And again, y'all gotta forgive me, man. That's why I'm needing to get upgrade again. I had a tablet that I was doing these videos on, and it got broken in the move, and when we had to move. So y'all just bear with me, but I'm still gonna bring y'all the real news behind news. So what, we had two good comments. We had two good comments from Robert Carson and Raz Cass. Raz Cass, where you listening to the show from? What city, state, or zip code that you listening to this broadcast from? But until we get some more comments, I'm gonna go ahead and wind this up, because I know that this person's gonna probably be pulling up in a few minutes. It won't take me long to go there and do what I gotta do. But yeah, y'all, I say by Wednesday of this week, it'll be part two. Well, actually, it'll be part three of the United States versus Iran. Do y'all know Iran is doing something that no other country has ever done? Iran is literally beating the shit out of the United States. If anybody tells you that Iran is losing this war, you need to get far the fuck away from them as possible, because that person is delusionally dangerous. He's delusionally dangerous. Right now, Donald Trump is trying to find a way. West Palm Beach, Florida, man, I think, believe it or not, most of my supporters and followers are not from my city. I have a lot of people from my city that follow me because of what I do locally. But I like people like Rash Cash, when Rash Cash and Robert Carson, when y'all follow, I don't call y'all followers because you all are critical thinkers. Nobody that subscribes to this channel is a follower. You are a leader. You are able to lead a group of people. The definition of leadership is the ability to guide, lead, or direct a group of people to that sound like, hey, you all, I really hate to do this, but I know this guy's gonna come pick me up. And again, at least I did the video. Normally I would do the video and then something come up, I wouldn't come back. But I gotta go do this shit and then I gotta do it for free. You know, but hey, that's part of real business. I just forgot to screw something down and there's a small leak. I don't believe in small leak, because all it takes is one leak, and that one little leak can collapse a whole house. So I thank you all for joining me this evening. This getting me back on the horse. I'm back in the saddle again, y'all. With this real news behind the news. I'm not just gonna say, I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna show you, because every day this week we're gonna have a broadcast. You know, I ask y'all to share these videos, man. Make sure that you're hooked up where you get notification. Tell everybody. Tell your sister, your brother, your aunties, your uncles. Tell two niggas that live up the street and one that stay down the street about this real news behind the news. Because my objective is not to bring you my opinion. My objective is to keep you from being propagandized. Because keep in mind, I used to work for a major affiliate. I just say an NBC affiliate, a news station. I've learned exactly the fact that we do not get news here in America. We get propaganda. My job is, if nothing else, to make you question everything that you're being told, like Iran is losing this war. Well, how come Donald Trump was so all and eager to do a ceasefire, but now Israel is ready to go back? And Donald Trump, they told you from the beginning of this war, the only reason why we in this war is because Israel was going to attack Iran. Ain't Benjamin Netanyahu been telling us for the last 40 years that Iran is less than 2 weeks away from a nuclear bomb? When in reality, according to the Iranians' religion, they had what's called a fatwa, where they did not want any kind of nuclear weapons because it was against their beliefs, their Islamic beliefs, their spiritual religious beliefs. But again, how the United States and Israel going to tell Iran they can't get one weapon when Israel literally possesses 100 nuclear weapons illegally? Questions we have to ask. Always ask questions, y'all. This war is going to restart this week. I say by Wednesday, they'll be at it again. This time, I'm going to be real. I pray that I'm wrong, but I think Iran is going to demoralize and humiliate and inflict such punishment on Israel and the United States that Israel will use a nuclear weapon. Hold on, let me see something, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and end this video. All right. Hold on, y'all. All right, y'all. Y'all give me a second. Let's go my ride. I'll come back. Y'all leave your comments, leave the like, hit the like button. Also, go ahead there and hit that cash out for me. So y'all see me again. This your boy Rob Thomas Jr. Y'all be blessed. Hey, knock on the door and tell one of the people out here.